Many people are oftentimes disappointed when they see the most famous painting in the world. At first glance, it doesn't have the wow factor that the other paintings in the Louvre in Paris, France have. However, if we can ignore the people that surround her and turn down the volume, what we see is a quiet, contemplating portrait that is the greatest psychological portrait ever created. In 1517, monarch of France King Francis I offered court painter Leonardo da Vinci a job. Leonardo was a self-made man that dedicated himself to the study of anatomy, geology, and philosophy. Leonardo, in his 60s, moved to the Chateau of Amboise in France and never went back to Italy. He brought with him dozens of sketchbooks, but just one painting, the Mona Lisa. Instead of the usual expensive outfits that we usually see in commissioned portraits of the aristocracy in this time period, Mona Lisa is stripped of the usual high-status symbols despite being a wealthy woman. The complete lack of jewelry and simple hair serves one purpose, so that viewers are distracted from Mona Lisa's facial expression. Leonardo used the classical pyramid-shaped composition that was introduced during the Renaissance. The structure provides stability and clear center focus, directing the gaze towards her face. The Mona Lisa is the earliest Italian portrait that focuses on the individual in a 3/4 length pose rather than full length. Leonardo did this in order to fill the frame of the painting with the subject, making the painting more intimate and cutting down distractions. This 3/4 pose becomes the norm for 400 years after Leonardo pioneers it. Today we look at Mona Lisa's pose and it appears as a pretty common resting position. However, it was groundbreaking during the era of which it was created. Previously, subjects always appeared stiff and upright in paintings, a symbol of aristocracy. But Mona Lisa is relaxed, her hands resting gently on the arms of her chair as she turns towards us, almost like a snapshot. Mona Lisa also appears rather content and self-assured, which was more of how aristocratic men were portrayed, rarely women. We are looking directly into her eyes, and she is looking directly at us. At the time, women in paintings weren't depicted this way. They didn't look boldly or directly at the viewer. The entire painting differed from the way women were painted in Italy. Then, there is a small smile on her face that pulls the painting together. Before, during, and after the Renaissance, artists didn't paint their subjects smiling. This was because it was difficult for subjects to maintain natural smiles for the days and months it took to create a portrait. Leonardo was able to keep Mona Lisa happy, though, through employing musicians and jesters. If we stare at her for a while, we can see that at first she is smiling, but then the smile drops. If we look away from the painting, the smile on her face lingers. This was because when Leonardo was perfecting Mona Lisa's smile, he would spend nights at the morgue, analyzing the muscles of dead bodies. He became fascinated by how a smile works, and analyzed every possible movement of each part of the face, working out the origins of every nerve that controls every facial muscle. We can see his research in these human anatomy drawings, and at the top of the page, we can see a simple drawing of a gentle smile, sketched lightly in black chalk. This simple anatomical drawing was the beginning of Mona Lisa's smile. The Mona Lisa became the most famous painting in the world, not just because of chance, but because for 500 years, viewers have been able to feel an emotional connection with her. Before the Mona Lisa, portraits lacked mystery and artists only expressed the physical appearance. The Mona Lisa, however, is drawn alive as a living, breathing woman with a soul.